Welcome to the IA on AI podcast, part of the Audit Podcast Network, where we bring you weekly updates on AI from the internal auditor's perspective. Here we go. From Cyber Management Alliance, or cmalliance.com, McDonald's hiring bot blunder, AI fries in a side of job seeker data. I'm pretty sure they used AI to write that headline too, by the way, for whatever that's worth. But anyway, McDonald's recently found out itself at the center of a data leak controversy. This time, it wasn't over additives, fries, or burgers, but job applicant data. Maybe just whoever wrote this has some sense of humor. Okay. At the heart of the breach was Olivia, an AI chatbot developed by Paradox.ai and used by McDonald's to streamline its recruitment process. What was meant to be a tool for efficiency and convenience turned into a security nightmare. Researchers discovered a shockingly simple vulnerability. This is unbelievable. An admin account still using the default password 123456. This careless oversight potentially exposed sensitive information from over 60 million job applications spanning years. I know when I test password controls, especially when I was doing external audit, it just seemed like not quite check the box, but it's like, all right, of course you have password controls in place. Yep, this all looks good. We would look to see that default admin accounts had changed their passwords. And so I guess maybe the takeaway here is to stay vigilant in what we do, especially when it comes to something as simple. This is so simple. This is such a common control. It's so simple. Literally anybody can test this control. You do not have to be an IT audit to test this control. But to stay vigilant, especially when it comes to potential data exposure. And as we start to work more and more with AI and have it integrated to make sure that those accounts that have access to sensitive information are locked down and secure. From Ogletree.com, EU AI Act update, navigating the future. In a move that underscores the European Union's commitment to shaping the future of AI, the European Commission has announced that it will proceed with its planned AI regulation without any delays. So if you operate in the UK, violations could mean fines up to 7% of global turnover. So if you're not prepared, I feel like the EU AI Act has been marketed, published, promoted enough that folks should be in pretty good shape. But nonetheless, another takeaway here for the US folks or others that don't have a national AI governance requirements would be to still consider using the EU AI Act as a model for rolling that out across your organization. The example we give in this scenario is, just because there's no speed limit sign on the road doesn't mean that you should drive 150 miles per hour. From blog.google, so this is Google's blog, if it wasn't that obvious, a summary of security, empowering cyber defenders with AI. For one of their articles in the blog, it was giving defenders an edge with agentic capabilities. Google's Big Sleep, which was developed last year to spot software vulnerabilities, did something incredible. It spotted a cybersecurity exploit right as it was about to be used in an attack. So it gave the folks there enough time to patch it, which I think is amazing. And Google saying that they think this is the first time an AI agent has been used to directly foil efforts to exploit a vulnerability in the wild. So this is that human in the loop. We can use AI to help us. Yet to be seen on the next phase of this, which is where it would catch it and then implement the patch itself, do its own testing, etc. But I would expect that to be an announcement or to make the news within the next year or two. Other news of note that's not directly audit related, but something to keep in mind and just to stay up to date on the AI world in general. Nvidia has shattered the market value record. They have become the first company in the world to reach a market cap of $4 trillion. A new startup called Thinking Machines Lab has raised a record. So now we got two records here. $2 billion seed round at a $12 billion valuation. It's the largest seed funding ever. Lastly, and this is probably going to be a trend, a hot topic for us on the show and for the AI world itself, is around AGI. We have an episode, we've done multiple episodes with John Thompson so far, AI expert. So He's not like audit first and then AI. He is like solely AI, although he is very familiar with the audit world. He led the AI team at Ernst & Young, so he's very familiar. He's also written a book called The Path to AGI. I would highly recommend checking that out. If nothing else, if you just want to skip to the last, I think it's chapter on AGI and read it, highly recommend it. If nothing else, it'll help cure some of the AI anxiety that you might have. You'll also, as you start to see people talk about AGI, you can look at it and go, nope, that's not real. High level, though, you'll see researchers, and we've talked about this before, researchers, the people who are actually studying this and don't necessarily get all the credit and get all the fame that the tech CEOs and chief AI officers are going to get. They're the ones saying, no, it's not here. It's nowhere close. We're still very far away from AGI. AGI effectively being when that comes around, it can do whatever a human being can do. You just tell it to do it and it'll go do it. That is not here. There's a future episode of the Audit Podcast where we talk to John Thompson again, specifically about the Path to AGI book that he authored. So that will be coming out in the next few weeks. And so check that out. We talk even more about this, but all that to say, the headline read, Epic Games CEO Tim Sweeney has seen enough of Grok 4. That's a model from X/Elon Musk. He says XAI's new frontier model might as well be AGI, considering it can generate, quote, fairly deep insights on problems it hasn't seen before. All right, so the way all these tools work so far, think about it this way. They scanned the entire internet. This is a very high level, not accurate way. So if you're an AI geek nerd, I understand. I'm explaining it to the masses here. They basically, the way all these LLMs work, ChatGPT, Copilot, all these, right? They scanned the internet. They took the internet, all the text, video, everything on the internet. They shoved it into a database. And now they're taking all that data and they shove it through these models. And so when you ask it a question or you prompt it, all it's doing is taking the historical data that's in this database that it's scraped from the internet, and it's predicting what the answer is going to be. AGI is not a prediction tool. AGI can think, it can generate its own thoughts, it can create original thoughts, things that human beings can do. It cannot do that. So until you hear of a model that can generate its own thoughts, AGI is, for now, nothing but a marketing term. For what it's worth, John Thompson's prediction is that it will hit in 123 years from now. All right, that's it for this week. We don't really have a catchy slogan to end the show yet. So if you have one and you want to send it to us, we'll be happy to include it. And if we get a bunch, we'll just do a different one every single time. But until then, well, I don't know until then because we don't have anything to leave the folks with yet. So have a good week.